What is up, you guys? Teller checking in for the prop edition for UFC Denver. Gonna throw a couple prop bets your guys' way. Also, note there was 3 newly added fights to this card, which that video has been uploaded here to the channel as well. For those of you guys that were wondering about those 3 fights that I missed on my initial fight prediction video, we got those up here on the channel as well. All right, so I appreciate all your guys' support. Please like this video if you guys can. It means a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I got a lot of huge stuff that I am working on here behind the scenes. I have this huge project that I'm working on. Cannot wait to eventually shed light on it to you guys. You're going to hear me talking about it a lot as we finally get to the moment where I could open it up to you all, but it's going to be something you guys are all going to love. So stay tuned with me there. Don't forget, guys, we're going into this card coming off an event where we hit the clean sweep on the entire card. Okay. Of course, the official plays hit. We hit everything. It was epic. So I just want to say that we're coming into this card with a lot of momentum. That's the last time you guys will hear me chirping about that. But if you're looking to work with me for my official plays, we're coming in very hot. We've been very hot over the past month or two. Reach out to me for further details if you guys want my official plays for this event. And don't forget, guys, we are running the Fight Companion for this event. We're doing the Fight Companion for every single UFC event moving forward. That's always the plan. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know for a specific event, but we will be going live here on YouTube for the first fight of the main card, which will be Cody Brundage versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. So things will kick off in a major way. We'll be going crazy right off the rip. I'll be jumping up on the mic and we will have a blast. All right, guys. So we're going to jump into the first prop bet that I want to bring towards your guys' attention, or bring to your guys' attention, but I will just let you know real quick, we are powered by BETUS. Make an account through the link in the description of this video. You will get a 125% match on your first 3 deposits, and don't forget to let me know if you do that so I can give you guys an additional gift as well. All right, guys.
Welcome to the show. This is the MMA fortune teller. Yeah.
The MMA fortune teller.
The teller.
We head over to the middleweight division, and in fact, this is the fight that's set to kick the card off. Josh Fremd taking on Petroski. I feel both these fighters are going to shoot out of the gates. I really do. I think these guys are going to clash. I think there's a very realistic possibility we see this fight end inside the distance. So I'm looking more towards unders here. Both fighters have shown to have that type of resume, whether it's getting finishes in the octagon or just in the cage in general, or even being finished, right? I mean, when you take a look at their losses, Petroski has been finished in all 4 of his losses. Even Josh Fremd has been finished in the majority of his losses, being finished in 3 of his 5 losses. And they are fight finishers. Petroski finishing 9 of his 10 or 11 victories, whether or not you're including the Ultimate Fighter there. Josh Fremd finishing 8 of his 11 victories. I mean, these guys are fight finishers. When you look at the numbers, this fight points towards a finish one way or another. And really, just when you break down the tape on them, I mean, these guys are aggressive. Josh Fremd is a fighter that's been a little bit under the radar, kind of overlooked, but he's a very aggressive dude when he's in the cage. He's very wiry. He's scrappy. He was just knocked out in his last fight against Roman Kopylov, but did have a submission victory over Cedricus Dumas a couple fights before that. He was submitted by Tresean Gore. He was knocked out by Gregory Rodriguez over in LFA before eventually making his way into the UFC. Had his own knockout victory against Bruno Oliveira, who's a Dana White's Contender Series alum as well. That fight took place in LFA. There's just a long track record of finishes one way or another when Josh Fremd's in there. Petroski, a very aggressive fighter. He's heavy-handed. He has some big power in his hands. Also has high-level grappling skills. As you see, he's just continuously performing in these professional grappling matches. Just comes in off a victory over Alex Myers. But the point I'm making there is that he does have the ability to finish the fight down on the mat. We saw that against Nick Maximov, where he had to finish in just over a minute back in 2022. He had finishes in both of his first 2 fights in the UFC over Michael Gilmore and Hugh Yaozong. Had a knockout and a sub. And he's also a fighter that's been finished quite a bit too. I mean, coming into this fight, he's coming in off 2 losses where he was finished in the first round and the second round against Michel Pereira and Jacob Malkoun. So, let's go take a look at what we're talking about here. I think if you're looking for some value or looking for a larger plus type of line, you might want to target the under 1.5. If you want to play it safer, maybe you're looking at the under 2.5, or you're looking at this fight to end inside the distance, which you can catch right around like -155 or something like that. But if you're looking for a solid plus type of line, you head over to BETUS. You can grab a +155 line on this fight to go under 1.5 rounds. And I do feel if we're going to see a finish, it's most likely going to be within the first round and a half. I think these guys are going to clash, like I said, and there's a variety of ways it could go to get to that finish. Okay, and I'm thinking a TKO one way or another. I think these guys are going to throw heavy at each other, and someone may wilt in there. In the featherweight division, we got my boy C-Rod Christian Rodriguez taking on Juicy J Julian Arosa. This is without a doubt one of the most exciting matchups on the card. Both of these fighters are very fun to watch. Very, very well-rounded and dangerous dudes. The thing that stands out to me here is that Julian Arosa, first off, he's been finished in 8 of his 11 losses, okay? And as of recently, he's looked pretty rough in there. I know he's coming off that big win over Ricardo Ramos, but I did not forget about the 2 losses that he had before that, getting finished in the first round by Bruce Leroy and Fernando Padilla, okay? And even if you want to scroll back, I mean, knocked out by the Sting Seung-Woo Choi back in 2021, knocked out by Julio Arce in 2019, knocked out by Devontae Smith in 2018, knocked out by Bobby McIntyre over at Cage Sport back in 2017. You guys want me to keep going? Knocked out by Teruto Ishihara, the former, or maybe still, I don't know, he disappeared, but the Team Alpha Male product, who was a fighter that was hyped up at one point in time, never really delivered. He had some pop in his hands. He knocked out Julian Arosa back in 2016. That was on the McGregor-Diaz card at UFC 196. He was knocked out by the GOAT, Artem Lobov, on the Ultimate Fighter Season 22. Okay, so, I mean, he has a long rap sheet of getting starched in there. And obviously, you guys know how the fight game goes. The older you get and the more damage you take, the more vulnerable you are to that type of situation. Okay, he's 34 years old. I think that Christian Rodriguez is very live to land a knockout here. Okay, Christian Rodriguez, not only can he knock you out, but he has nasty sub skills. He can hurt you on the feet and eventually set up a sub. He's a dangerous fighter. He's finished 7 of his 11 victories, and I still feel he's a fighter that's under the radar. For whatever reason. I know that he didn't get the contract when he was on the Ultimate Fighter, didn't have the most exciting type of fight. He won that fight, but people are overlooking him, I feel, at times. And we saw that in his last fight, as he was a massive underdog against Isaac Dalgary. And you guys know I picked C-Rod there. He was a huge underdog, and I thought that he showcased once again he's a dangerous fighter, or just a well-rounded fighter. Okay, I know a lot of people thought Dalgarian should have won that fight. I saw somebody in the comment section on the full prediction video here. It was a close fight regardless, and really, the longer that fight would have went, it just, C-Rod was proving to be the superior fighter and the more fine-tuned fighter. A victory over Cameron Simon before that, victory over Raul Rosas Jr. before that. So those victories are looking good. And I know that those weren't finishes, but he will get his finishes as time goes on. And Julian Arosa is the type of fighter for that finish to happen upon. Okay, now, Julian Arosa is a fight finisher in his own right. So even if Christian Rodriguez doesn't get that finish, Julian Arosa could possibly get a finish as well. I mean, if these guys meet in the middle of the cage, both of them are very dangerous. I think it will be more on the C-Ride side of things, but Julian Arosa is dangerous. I don't want to completely overlook him either. But what we're talking about here is the under 2.5 rounds, which you can get at plus odds here, or we can get it opened up at +135. It's now +125, but you can get some plus value on the under 2.5 rounds, which I like. I like that value there. So that's something that I want you to keep an eye on. You can get that at +125 right now at BETUS. If you were on that earlier, you could have got it at +135. Monitor that line. Maybe it jumps back up, but maybe not. Maybe it continues to go that way. So let's see how that fight takes place. It's going to be a fun one.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
And then the last one I want to talk about is Gabriel Bonfim versus Ange Loosa. You guys know Loosa is in our crosshairs, okay, after what he did to my boy Brian Battle. And he was taking some money out of our pocket while he did that with that whole eye poke situation, which he immediately was ready to go to war after the fight was over, trying to act tough in the cage. And he's in our crosshairs, and there's a very, very likely scenario that he will be finished in this fight. I know he's never been finished before, but Gabriel Bonfim is a bona fide fight finisher. Okay, not only does he finish fights, he finishes them in the first round. He's going to come out like a bat out of hell, and I think there's a very likely scenario that he can lock up a sub on Alhassan. Maybe he even cracks him with some type of finishing strike in just in wild fashion. But also, you know, to be on the other side, I hope Gabriel Bonfim is the fighter that's getting the finish, but he comes into this fight after being finished by Nicholas Dalby in the second round himself. He kind of broke down in that fight a little bit later in the second round, and I just feel that this fight is not going to make it to the final bell. That's how I'm feeling about this fight. You can take a look at over on BETUS at the under 1.5 round. The fight to go under 1.5 rounds, which is right now at plus 130. We got a plus sign next to that. Again, I'm throwing a lot of plus value towards your guys' way. For those of you that are looking for that type of action. If you're looking for something a little bit more safe, then you can go for the under 2.5 rounds, or you can go for the fight to not go the distance. Obviously, you're not going to get a plus sign next to it, but I still think there will be some good value there, because I just don't see this fight going to the final bell. One way or another. If Bonfim doesn't get that finish, then I could even see Alhassan finishing him up. And then just also remember, with Alhassan being a fishy type of fighter, maybe with his type of tactics in there, it could lead to the fight ending early. All right, maybe he starts doing that business with the eye. I can't see with the eye and whatnot. Maybe you guys know what I'm saying. There's a lot of chain of events that could happen with those types of fighters, where maybe the fight is stopped and maybe we see a DQ or something like that, or he's saying that he can't see, but the ref said there was no eye poke and he's looking for a way out of there, and he just kind of turns his back and doesn't want to weather the storm anymore from Gabriel Bonfim. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's just a bunch of wild things that go on in the cage, and when you have a fighter like Alhassan who's kind of looking for a way out when things aren't going his way, that could also lead to the fight ending in one way or another. So I like the unders in this spot, but again, I do favor Gabriel Bonfim to be the fighter that's getting his hand raised. And I know we've seen his line dip down a little bit. He's still a big favorite, but we've seen action coming in on Alhassan. I think that this is a solid bounce back spot for Bonfim. So maybe you're also targeting Bonfim specifically to get a sub or to get a finish inside the octagon on the night as well. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up UFC Denver as far as the prop edition goes. Just a couple prop bets I wanted to throw your guys' way. Comment below. Let me know. Are you guys fading me on these targets, or are you guys going to tail me? I want to know one way or another. You guys know I always appreciate the feedback. I always appreciate your guys' support. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and like you will continuously be hearing me say, I got something huge I'm working on, and you guys are going to absolutely love what I'm working on. When I finally deliver it to you guys, I think you guys are going to just eat it all up, man. You guys are going to be tuned in to this new thing I'm working on, and I think it will be something that you look forward to every week. All right, I'll leave you with that. But appreciate you guys as always. If you guys want my official plays for the card, don't forget, reach out to me and I will send you over further details. You guys all have a great week. I will see you Saturday for the Fight Companion. Remember, we're going live for the main card. Signing out. Teller.
Welcome to the show. This the MMA fortune teller. Yeah.
The MMA fortune teller.
The teller.